Hello, everyone. I am just doing a live levels support and resistance levels before Monday. Welcome, everyone. So we are going to first. I'm going to start out with last week was an amazing week. I hope that everyone had a great week as well. I can say that the this LRC strategy is truly phenomenal. It has truly changed my um, my outlook, my trading performance is just through the roof, and it's not really me as much as it is. I just discovered something that works for now, and I hope it continues to work. Um, so I'm going to keep using it until it stops working. So anyhow, to get started, I'm going to start out, let's see, with NASDAQ. I've already put in some levels. I'm going to chart, look at the 1 hour time frame is typically what I start with. And for next week, unless something changes dramatically overnight or pre-market tomorrow, I'm looking at the 20,575.75 for maybe a pullback and continuation. If you notice, NASDAQ, when it gets on these runs, it's kind of exactly what it will do. It will have a high, it goes above it, it'll then retest it, go above, retest, go above, and look what it's doing. I'm looking for a retest of this 20,575.75. You can say 20,576, 80 area. That's a pretty big area. Like if I change this to 80, it will be close enough for our retest on NASDAQ. So 20,580. And the high of Friday was 20,639.50. I do have a resistance level put there. I'd like to see a retest of this area, a push up, and a hold of this area, the high of Friday, and a continuation. I'm looking at 20,800. That level, basically, I used my fibs to get a rough idea of where I think we may be pushing to based off of the percentage that we're moving each day from NASDAQ. So that's kind of just more of a guess since we're in no man's land. I am, okay, for ES, kind of the same exact look, right? We have 55.85 was on Friday, came down, retested, and just shot straight up off of it. Now I had 56.15 marked as a resistance, but now it's turned it into a support. We'll see if this maintains. This could pull all the way back, and I hope it does. This would be much better if it pulled back to this level tomorrow or overnight. I would feel much better about longs. However, if it just stays above the 56.15 and um, retest this area, I will look for longs if we're above the 56.15. And then I guess projection, maybe we will need to be in psych levels at this point. Let me look and see. 56.50, probably a good psych level to project to. So far, my projections have been pretty dang spot on. And all I'm doing, if you haven't noticed, I usually try to project to the 50% or between the 50% and the 61.8. Um, what I'm using is this tool right here, the Fibonacci extensions. And the way the Fibonacci extensions are supposed to work is you're supposed to come up from bottom, top, back to bottom, and then it would give you a pullback level area, which we could very well look for a pullback into this 5600 area. That makes a lot of sense, right? This could pull back to here and then go up. So I will actually put, I would love for it to come back to the 55.85, but we will put a support level right there. And the way I'm getting my projections is instead of going from low to high to low, I am actually going just straight from low to high, the last low, last high, and I double click the top instead of coming back down, and it'll give me the extension up. And believe it or not, that has been working pretty good when we've had basically, you know, zones that we've never we're just now exploring. So that is something you can try out, test it, see if it works for you. So those are my levels for ES. Of course, these I don't see us getting back down here. We could, but 55.60 will be my lowest if we happen to get a pretty big drop. If it gets below 55.60, then I'll look at our other levels that we had before. Let me go to Apple next on the list. Also, I use what I call the long LRC. This is the linear regression tool. I just customized it to work the way I want it to work. You click once, you click again. And the way I customize this, if you want to try it out, is I just added an extra coefficient, extra couple coefficients. So I have 1, -1, a 2, a -2, 1.5, and then a -1.5. And the 2 deviation is my yellow. The cyan, the brighter cyan is my 1 deviation, and my gray is my 1.5 deviation, both above and below, and this is my mean. And what I will do, I will go back, I will find somewhere around where the low is. It doesn't have to be right on the low. I think some people try to use it exactly on the low. I found that doesn't help me so much. So what I will do is I will just find an area, and then I start manipulating it by grabbing the grips. And I'll move the grips until I can get my deviations to align with pivot points. Notice how it pivots here, and what happens after it pivots off of this 1 deviation. Boom. Well, interestingly enough, that 1 deviation also is aligning with the 20 EMA. 20 daily SMA. That is a 20 daily SMA, and this is a 50 daily SMA. The yellow is a 200 daily, and the white is my 100. So when you see those on my chart, that's what they are. I have those on all of my charts, so I know when price is coming down or breaking through them. And if you look at the LRC, look at how it pivots off of this point. I know I'm getting off track, but this is an important thing. I've been using this with my anchored LRC trading strategy, my intraday. This gives me really good entries and exits. So for instance, if price is moving up to like this price is moving up here to this deviation, if it gets up here and I see rejections start to come off of my second deviation, like right here, I'm taking my profit and I'm moving on. I don't care if it breaks above it, then I can always look for a retest and re-enter. But most of the time on an uptrend, I have yet to see it break above the second deviation and just continue way above. I've seen it break above like this, but then it fails and comes back through it. So it's really important to see that, and it may give you an understanding that the upside, it's going to have a pullback, and just be prepared to maybe trade shorts or wait for the pullback back to this deviation like it did here. You'll see some consolidation and then boom. Of course, we don't always know when that will happen, but at least it gives us an idea, gives us a guide as to when it may move. For instance, right here, if you had placed a trend line, you would have known you could have got in right here and had a great trade that day because you could see it consolidated on this and went above. I'm actually considering swing trading with this technique or with this long LRC simply because I haven't done it yet. I'm really not good at swing trading or I haven't had good success, I should say. So I am looking to start trading it and just giving it a shot because once you get like this and some consolidation above the LRC, and as soon as you move up, you usually get a pretty good move. You could trade till it gets to this LRC and take all profit or hold it if it gets above and just see if you're going to get to the second deviation. So anyway, let me get back to the levels. So um, Apple's levels for Monday. Of course, we're looking at the 218. That has been a pretty big level for a while now. The 220 level has been a pretty significant level. I would say we are looking at 225. I'd say 225 is going to be the next level that I'll look at. And of course, it's not exactly on the number. This is a level. You can think of it as an area, right? So if you see price coming into this area somewhere close during the day while you're trading, and you see a wick up off of it like something like this right here, like comes down, wicks up, that's that the next candle would be, my entry. So I'm looking for a pullback, which looks like it will be aligning with the 1.5 deviation on the long LRC. I'll look for a pullback to here. I do want to see it get above the high, which was 226.85, and then I will most likely trade it to. We're probably looking at around the 230 level, but when we're in no man's land, you almost have to look at your 228, your 229. Just be prepared for those to be pivots, turnarounds, and of course, this is I'm not biased in saying it's going to continue going up. It could actually come back down. I don't pretend to know what the market is going to do. I just trade the way the market is going. So for me, I'll just see what the Nasdaq and ES are doing, and I'll make my judgments based off of that. AMD. AMD has finally grown some legs. Look at this garbage over the last many weeks, and look what happened. It was running my long LRC. I was watching this the whole time. It would come up to it, come back down, just consolidate, just in ugly days, right? Come up to it, came back down, came up to it. Guess what happened? Boom, look at this big candle right up off of it. Consolidated, wicked right up off of it right here, and then just shot straight up on Friday. I missed AMD. I, of course, wasn't expecting it, and I was not watching this. I need to set myself up some sort of there's really no way that I know of. If anyone has an idea, please put it in the comments. But I'd love to have an alert that would let me know when it comes above the LRC line. The downside is the LRC line. I'm always changing it, and I'm going to change this one because now it's null and void, right? It has broken it. It is no longer a valid level. So let me 169. I know 175 is a level. My screen's frozen. Thank you. TOS. So for now, this is going to become a support. This is going to become a support. I'm actually going to delete Let's see, this was 166.70. Yeah, I'm just going to remove that one. I really don't even like where this one is at because the price action was so chopped up through here. See if I can find, okay, I like that better right there. So what is that, 165.50 roughly. So I'll make that 165.50. That's maybe another level to pull back, but if you see we have the 100 daily SMA, I would really like to see a um, a pullback to the 100 and then another move up and then a move above that as well. Could get a rejection there. Um, so I'm actually looking for the 175 level to be the next level to be cleared. And if we get above that, 180, let me see where 180, the even, let's see where that puts us. Yeah, I would say we from 175 then to 180 because I mean it could just turn and consolidate in here like it has before. So be prepared for that if you're in trades, just don't get caught up in the chop between 175 and 180. I'd love to see a clean move through the 180 and then we're off to the races, guys. AMD may really start work having some really good days for us again. So that's where I'm at on AMD, 175, 180. I'd like to see a pullback to 169. That's what I would like to see on Monday. Let's see Amazon. Amazon also had an amazing move up here lately. Check out Amazon. This is my long LRC. Came down, consolidated right along the LRC, shot straight up, kept going up, came back down to it, consolidated, went up to this LRC, came down to this one, shot straight up, consolidated at this one, got above it, wicked down hard here, shot back up, and these are 1 hour candles, so pretty significant levels as you can see. So what's interesting right now is Amazon is, sorry if you hear my daughter in the background, she's having some issues with my dog or her dog. So 159, 199.59, 199.60, just that area. So I'm looking for this to pivot, push back, and have continuation. If we're on the upside, I want to see this push back up off of this and continue up to the 203.45 level. The 203.45, let me go back and see. That may have been a fib level. Yeah, I think it was a fib level that I used. Because, yeah, we don't have any more. We're at all-time highs. So that's a fib level. And you know, you could use the long LRC if you're not sure. And since we're in, you know, in no man's land once again, when we're in no man's land, I find that the long LRCs actually provide the best support and resistance. Look at this. This was all-time highs. Look what happened right off the LRC. Came down, went back up, and it just keeps riding this. So if you're in an uptrend, your best moves are your pullbacks. So I'd love to see this drop below this and come to the 197 and get below the 199.60, come back to the 197, which would be this deviation, and then take our longs for upside. And we may get a really good move like happened here or happened here. So I would like to see a pullback to this level and then a move up. Of course, it could come back here, reject there. It could actually keep going down. We don't know what's going to happen, but that's we just plan to plan and wait to see what price action shows us. So that's Amazon for now. You could use the 202 level as well as a psych level, 202, maybe 203. I'll put that there just to give me something to maybe take profit at. Sometimes I'll put psych levels in and just use them as areas to scale out. Typically, I'll use my LRC to do the scaling out. That it has worked the best for me. That's my anchored LRC, not the long LRC. And let's see, ARM. ARM was a beast on Friday. Look at this move. It had been using the long LRC, and it came back down to the long LRC on Friday right here, and just launched right through the top, right past this level, as if it wasn't even there. So now, what we'll do is pull this back and see if we can get some, which those look pretty good right there already. So you had a pivot up off of this one, and these don't have to be exact, just as long as you know they're there and it becomes a level. Just get them close. So right now we're at an area where it could pull. I would love to see a pullback to the 172. That would be the absolute best. Location, let me see. I had 177.24. I'm going to keep that in. I'm going to look at that on a 5-minute and see what happened on the 177.24. Oh yeah, so it's definitely a level, and it was the long LRC on the 5-minute. You can see it lined up perfectly right here. So it came down, wicked up off of that, or pushed back up off of that. The 178.79, I think I'm going to take that out. It doesn't look like it's formidable enough. It was just some chop. So I'm going to stick with the 180. Let's see, 180. I'm going to go 180.50. I think that'll cover us. So if we stay above 180.50, I'm just going to look for upside to the upper LRC. And I will also put in this would be quite a move, but it could happen. So 189, we'll call it 190. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? And that's right between like dead center of the 50 and the 61.8. So that's what I'm looking for on an upcoming week. AVGO was being traded by quite a few. I tried some on Friday. I had 2 losses on it. I had losses both on my calls and on my puts. I literally timed them completely wrong. Did not use my LRC to trade them, so that was my fault. But check this out on the long LRC. So what it looks like we may be getting, guys, if you draw in this long LRC yourselves, I'll tell you where I have this one, but you can make this happen yourself. It's pretty simple. Go to the 1 hour, move these until it touches. Move this and until you have this whole line right here. And then you can see that then becomes your pivot points. What I'm thinking we're going to have on the long LRC is this here. I think we're going to have a continued move either to this to the blue, the first deviation of the long LRC. It could come all the way back down to the 168.50, or I'm sorry, the 1650.85. But I think we're going to hit this and then break above this 1765 level and head up to these If we get past these, then it's off to the races once again. So I'm watching this closely. I would like to see a move down to this line. Um, what I will do though, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can right click on this line right here and you can create an alert with the line. And I'm going to put an alert that says crosses, and then I have one that's called trend line.
Trend line cross.
And I put a voice module in there so I can hear, it'll tell me it's a trend line cross. So I've now put an alert there. If this comes down to this and starts wicking up, I will enter longs on a VGO and possibly for a swing trade, because that could be a really, really massive swing trade. BA, let's see what Boeing is doing. Whew, man, I have so many levels called out on this thing. It has been in this area for a while. Look at this. So, of course, we want to see it get over the 193. If it gets over 193, we do have the 200 EMA above, or I keep saying EMA, sorry, the 200 daily above, the daily MA above. We have to be cognizant of that. It looks like that's actually aligning with these bottoms right here, which is at 197 level. I already had that marked out before. So anyhow, the what to look for on Monday on Boeing is a possible pullback. I don't like seeing it come below the 20 or the 100 daily MA. However, it may very well come below and retest this long LRC right here and then push back up. Or it could break it and come all the way down. But then you have your 20 daily and your 50 daily down below. So it has some pretty significant levels to go through. If you notice, it's kind of went back and forth through them. So it's really hard to use the 20 daily, the 50 daily, and the 100 daily, which you can see it is consolidating on it. However, I don't know that I can trust that. I don't trade Boeing that much, but I would say the 187 is your next level, roughly 187, 183. I have 69, 183.70. It's this is a tough one to judge because it's so choppy. The wicks are all over. Let me see what the 4-hour gives me. Four-hour may give us better clarity. No, I mean, I like the 183.70. You could actually possibly call that 183 or 184. Let me see. Yeah, 183 comes to the bottom of these. I'm still going to keep the 183.70 for me. You could use 183, and you could use what looks to be 184 right under the bottom of these. Actually, I'm going to look at the 184 as well. Let me see how that looks. Yeah, I think I like that better. So 184 is going to be my level for it to stay above for upside. If it comes here down here, I may look to trade it, but I would want to see it push up off this 100 daily or the 184 level for more upside. And of course, it needs to clear these levels to get any more continuation past. CRM looks like this was a big gap, or this was earnings. It went straight down and it has slowly tried to fill that gap. But it is filling it. The gap is all the way to basically 270, 269, 270. I think it's actually 270. Yeah. So I would look for a pullback to the 260 on CRM, pull back to the 260 level, a move from there up to the 270, and then hopefully we get a break in continuation. Again, this is all in case, we have upside in the market. If not, if we have it fail, I'm looking for it has to fail between the below the 50 and the 200 daily down to the 254, and then below that I have back down to the 245.25 area. This is busy, busy, busy. So looking at Dell, I think Dell right now, let me see how my LRC is lining up. It looks like it's lining up pretty dang good. So what I'm seeing is if we get a rejection here, a rejection back down to the 130 on Dell, or if we hold the 20 daily and this LRC, as you can see, it has been an issue for Dell for quite some time. I would say look for it to push back up to the 145.50. If you get above that, then a continuation up to 160 level, which is where the LRC is. And then let me make sure. This one looks like it's kind of in no man's land. I'm not sure where I had that marked before. Let me look at my weekly. Yeah, no, nowhere else to mark. So that must have been off of maybe a 30-minute. Sometimes I'll scale down to try to locate. Yeah, that's what it was. 30-minute pivot right through here. So 165, 165.15. We can call it 165 for sure. That definitely looks like the level to get above for continuation to the upside. And then I would look for it to clear I'd say the 179.70, 180. Let me see where 180 puts us. Yeah. So from 165 to 180, man, so there is some really good potential moves ahead for CRM. As you can see, it's had some pretty good runs. So I'd love to see this push up from here up. I'm sorry, not CRM, Dell. I'd like to see this push up, get above the 145.50 level. Then I'm looking at the LRC or 165. Google. Google has been a beast. It has been a beast, which I guess most things have been pretty solid here lately. Check out Google on the long LRC. You can see the importance of the 1.5. That's why I actually put in the 1.5. Some of the stocks were using the 1.5 as their main pivots more than the 1 and the 2. Right now, it is at the 1.5. What happened the last time at the 1.5? It consolidated, went back up to it, came down, went back down, went all the way back to the 1.5, and then started its climb back up. This all was kind of sideways, but each time it came to the 1.5, of course you're not going to do well intraday, but if you were to swing it off of this, you'd get this, right? So it would be really cool to see another pullback way down to the, just like it did here over the next, week or so, and take it off of this LRC, or maybe even the one deviation. It had some pretty decent moves off of that as well. So right now I am looking at I did have 190.21. I'm just going to make this an even number because we're again in exploration area, which if you notice that is right where that candle came and wicked down to. So pretty probably 190 is what we need to look at on Goog. I will put another, definitely I want to see it break above the 192.26 and possibly let me go to the 5 minute. Sometimes on the 5 minute we can see levels that may be setting up. Let's see what this level is right here. 190.72, 191, maybe too high, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna put it right here at the 190.84. This will be close enough for me. I don't have to have it right on the money. I know that it's a level. So if I get this push off of the now it's showing this is the upper LRC on the 5 minute, but if you go to the hour, it's the gray. I use the gray or the 1 hour to set my levels, and then once you change to different times, it does change on you. So be careful of that. So anyhow, I am looking for Google to possibly push down, maybe retest this for more upside. It may come back to this for more upside. It could possibly come down to the 190. I would love to see it come back down to the 187.50. That would be the best because I think you're going to get the best move from here up. You definitely have what is a level being formed on the 187.50 or 187.50, 188 area. So just look for maybe this to come down, look for it to start consolidating or wicking back up off of this and then take longs. It will be difficult. You could trade down to this, but for me it would be difficult unless we broke below this to take shorts on Google because this could turn around anywhere in here. Basically because if you do your fibs, your fib retracement at least to 61.8 is at 189. So I'll actually put a level there. And what I do is I'll make that 189. I will make it yellow. I'll make it solid and I'll make it as a 3. And that way I see this and I know that that's my 61.8 retracement level. If I see this coming down, I'll watch this area. It could be the 50, it could be the 61.8, of course, but I'll watch this area, and if I see it starting to weaken, price weakens during the day, and starts turning around off this level, then I'll know that it's retracing back to this level, and then getting continuation to the upside. I'm gonna try to run through these a little quicker. I have to get dinner cooked here in a minute, so. Meta, ooh, what a beast it was on Friday. Look at this move on Friday, guys. This was right off of our anchored LRC and this 511. It just came down and just never looked back. It was gone. So the long LRC is from some time back. Let me see if I can adjust this one. It is working here, here, here. So that's actually working really well. Pay attention to what happens here. If you need to, draw these in yourself. But check out this. I keep doing that. This little drawing program, I forget if I don't click up here first, it will take a screenshot of the whole screen when I click. So look what's happening off of these deviations as we go. So what I'm thinking is a definite rejection of this one, possibly back down. I would love to see it come back down to this level and then go up on meta. Um, if we get above this, then I would look for my next scale out area to be the gray or the it to take to go all the way to the second deviation. But if you notice, meta has yet to get to the second deviation. It has been turning around at
200 EMA
at the
cross up.
1 and the 1.5. So most likely a pullback from this, possibly a pullback from this tomorrow. Just pay attention. If it gets above, then you'll have to draw these in yourself, of course, so that you have it. Um, I have it drawn in from, I'll give you the date of the node. Oh, actually, I can double click and tell you. So the start date is 04/24 at 1730 hours. The end point is on 6/12 at 10:30 a.m. So if you put your points on those 2 points, I'm sure you can see this, or you can come back and look at it. That should get you aligned very closely to the way I am here, and you can use this as your upside level. So for up, I am going to put the high, the 540.87 as our high. I want to see it get above that. I'm going to go to the 5 minute. The 533 definitely was a level. These become my support now. This 524. Let's see, 523. 522. Yep, I'm going to leave it at 522. There's also like a level right here. Again, these are kind of micro levels because these are only on the 5 minute, but they could become big levels since we're in, all-time highs. So possibly looking for a pullback to here and a move up. I'd love to see a pullback all the way down to this deviation. That would be great. So it's what I'm looking for starting Monday or next week at least. Microsoft. Hey, Eddie. Oh, how do I set up? Oh, you see, I am so sorry. I was not even watching my I was so busy focusing on this. I wasn't watching the chat. So this Microsoft, I will show you where I have the long LRC set here. And you can see the pivots off of these are just incredible. And man, it has been amazing for me trading this LRC strategy during the day. Um, I trade the anchored LRC, but I've started using the long LRC as also a guide, and it has just truly been amazing for me. I've as I'm trading intraday, I trade options, and if I see it approaching a level, I'll just get all out, especially if it's a level that I know that it's pivoting. I'll just hop out and I'll wait, and if it gets above, and then I see it come back and retest it, then I'll get back in. But so Microsoft, this is the level on Microsoft, 0425 24. That's the begin point at 1815 hours. And you can move that around until you get it to align. It's not an exact science, but it is it's it's very, very accurate once you have it set up. Um, oops. Like this one, I actually probably would want to see. Yeah, okay. I just changed mine here, and that's much better. You can see the pivot off of the this is the mean, It pulled back to the mean, went up. So I'm really looking for a possibly a pullback, maybe to the one deviation and then continuation on Microsoft. I would like to see a pullback all the way to the mean, and then our next move up. But for now, again, we're just in no man's land. I'm going to put a level around the 50, which is 473. That will be a target that I'll look for. Of course, at this point, we don't know. We don't have anything to base it off of, so we're just guessing at this point. So far, by doing that on my end, it has worked out. I don't know if you saw that earlier. It's been actually really accurate. All the stocks that I've been following that are in new territory, I'll just go in and do the latest move, like from here to here. You'll see that it was right there. Well, here I'll do it actually. You came up, you pivoted right here. This one actually made it above. I may not have went high enough, but my high was there actually. So there you go. You can see that the next move was right into this area. Does it come back and then move to the next level? Who knows? But at this point, I'm just going to continue using it. It's working for me for now, since we don't have anything else really to base it on. I was talking to a guy the other day that said he had one that did projections above of fibs. I'm going to have to look into that. That would be really cool if I could find something that was, really accurate. So 461.80, I'll use this high as a possible pullback long as well. 461.80. The fib will be, the long LRC will really be something I will focus on mainly because it has been respecting it. Whether it does or doesn't, you just have to watch price action and see what happens around it. Especially if you see like this happening right here, it stays weak, and then you get these wicks up. That's when you enter right here. Now, of course, this is the 1 hour. You can see this better on a lower time frame, but that's just money. It just lets you know what's happening. You see the strength. The buyers keep stepping in. It's hard to get below it. Once it goes below it, it just buys all the way back up, closes here. I would take a position right here. So next one is going to be NVIDIA. This one has been interesting. For me, I already had these levels marked. So my long LRC was broken on Friday, or actually on Wednesday. It was broken on Wednesday. It pulled all the way back to it. At the moment, it's below the 20 daily SMA. So I want to see, and I've already told the group. I don't even. We can try trading. Oh, here it's gonna do it again. I keep forgetting to select my tool up here. So my issue is all of this here, back here. I don't like this channel. I don't even want to trade NVIDIA in this channel. I may miss out on some stuff, but honestly, I want to see this get above here. This is the level I want to see it break, the 129.80 for me. I want to see, and if NVIDIA breaks this level, I may even take some swings for just you're looking at massive moves after that. Next level, where you can see it's 141 was an all-time high. This level here, which you can see 133, let's see, 133.50 maybe. Yeah, I'll just say 50. That'll get me close. 133.50 and 129.80. I want to see it clear 129.80. You could possibly use the highs of these, but the last time that happened, it failed. I want to see a hold above 129.80, a break above, maybe a retest, and then a push up. That's I want that kind of confirmation on this on NVIDIA. So, yep, that looks really good. It's above my second deviation, so if I do get some sort of a new breakout, I'll come back and reset this long LRC. I may go ahead and move it from the low down here. Actually, I'll go ahead and move it. Let's see. Get an idea of what we have here. No, it's just straight sideways, which is okay because if you pull it out, you do. Yeah, it's so choppy, but you had just this whole channel is kind of tough. I really need it to break above for it to get new movement. As you can see, like this whole area is rough right now, so we need this to pop off of this, get above this level for more upside. So maybe a break, which is this level, or the long LRC at this point. So that's what I'm looking at. So NVIDIA is something I'm not interested in until it breaks this level. Matter of fact, I'm going to put an alert across above. If I get across above that, then I will get interested on NVIDIA. PANW, it's back to just consolidating. I heard that people in Congress have bought a lot of PANW lately. So if that's true, I can't confirm it. I've just saw a couple videos showing that they said they did. Um, so possibly something to look into for swing trades. Okay, so at the moment it just looks like PNW is kind of consolidating above, right at the mean. Want to see it break above the 345 for more upside. If we get a break above 345, I'm interested in calls. As far as my upper level is 348, and then I would just look at psych levels or run your LRC above that. Let's look at SPY. See how this looks on a longer term here. Okay, I like that right there actually. Hmm. So we did have a rejection of the 1.5. It rejected the 2 here, rejected the 1.5 here as well, consolidated back down to the 1 deviation, and then shot straight up through it. So definitely would like to see a pullback down to the 1 or the 552.37 level on SPY. I also had 552. I'm going to keep it there in case it's just in this zone. That tends to happen sometimes. Qs were stuck between the 479 and 480 for like a week. It was pretty obvious. You could see it just kept going up to 80, getting kicked back down to 479, back up to 80, back down to 479. Um, use the bottom of this candle here, 551. I'm gonna get rid of this one, use 551 and keep 550.50. Want to see it get above the 555 and then the next level up. The 50% is 557. And Tesla. Tesla finally found some legs. Got out of all of this. But now it's getting into this. So I already have these levels marked. 254, pretty significant level. It has been you have to go back quite a bit, but it has been a pretty significant level. 254 has wicked up, has rejected, and both down and up quite a bit. So 254 is a big level, and then my next level is 265. So of course there's consolidation in between there, so you just have to play it by ear and, either take profit or try to hold much longer for a longer swing if you're going to swing trade. I don't really swing trade yet. I have attempted. I shouldn't say I don't. I have attempted. I've done poorly each time. So the long LRC maybe null and void at this point once you get these big moves. I don't mind that somewhat. Let me see what. Hmm. Yeah, this one makes it tough. So probably won't rely on the long LRC as of for this since there's such a strong move up. May be able to just put it on a long slender move. And possibly wait for a pullback to the one deviation. We'll have to let this one play out to get more information. But for now, I like these levels, the 254, the 265. If I break 254 on Monday or over the pre-market, I will definitely be looking for a pullback and move above that. So I'm going to put in another alert for Tesla. TSM has been just amazing for me lately. I have made a lot of money off of TSM. Just had some really, really good moves. So roughly 179. I would like to see a pullback either to this deviation. Let me zoom out and see how my deviations look. Oh yeah, they look pretty good. This one tightened up some. There we go. Much better. Okay. So that deviation looks way better. If you can get yours to match that, Eddie, that would be good if you're still in here. Um, yeah, I like how this pivoted up off of this one here, which was also the 20. You kind of had all these confirmations, right? You had the 20 daily, you had the 170, and this and the long LRC. Right now, I would like to see it get above 185, hold above 185, and this long LRC for another good move up. I mean, look at the moves you get off of it when it breaks above. That's a pretty significant move. That's from 154 here to 162, so you can make a ton of money on options uh, during the day. Um, so I'm looking for a move from the 185 on up to possibly the 200 level. I mean, I guess one at this point we'll probably do like $5 increments. 190, 195. Realistically, just psych levels. If we get to them, may scale out, take profit, but I'm going to use my long LRC as my main uh, guide. And I think that is about it. Is there anything that you want to look at? Any specific stock before I go cook dinner? Yeah, I always buy at the money in the same week. Intraday trading, when I trade SPX, it's that week zero DTE. Same with SPY. The only time I'll change and trade, next week's is on Fridays because Fridays a lot of times, of course you're at the end of the week and you're at the money and some stocks is roughly down to 20 cents a share. I don't like buying 50 or 60 contracts just to get the amount that I want to trade. Um, I try to trade around $2,000 to $3,000 worth of contracts. So, for instance, if it's a $2 contract, I'll buy 10 to 15, um, or sometimes if it's an A plus setup. Yeah, yeah, same with equity. If it's an A plus setup, I sometimes will. I've been like doubling, and it's has helped me to have be like one and done during the day. Um, and realistically, using the LRC has I don't know if you've seen the LRC before, or if you came to this live stream, but this is the LRC strategy that I use, and luckily it's showing it. It's the anchored LRC. Um, And so it's the same thing you're seeing on the other, except for it doesn't have the 1.5. This just has the mean, the 1, and the 2. And I'll watch pre-market. I'll watch the 20 EMA, the 200 EMA on a 2-minute time frame. And you're welcome if you like, come and join, or you can come in. I have a free area in my Discord. I did monetize it recently, but there is a free area. You can ask questions. You can come in and join, and I'll be more than happy to answer or help with any questions. But yeah, oh, you actually already got it and copied it. Awesome, awesome, good deal. This has been amazing for me and for others. There's been other people that are um, one guy that trades in the Discord server. He was up over 300% by using this strategy. It's just crazy. It's been working really, really well. So if you already know about it, I was going to go over it and show it to you, but very good. Well, hopefully I'll see you. Come in and join me. Come into the Discord, say hey. You don't have to join it. It's a fairly simple um, strategy. I do call out my trades live on the I would say, our paid version, but you really don't need that. It's extremely simple. For instance, if you're watching this right here, one of the most important things I see, Eddie, and just you have to trust it. I know that's hard to hard to go along with someone else telling you that, but I have been testing this now for weeks, and I have been doing phenomenal. I've never traded this well ever. So it's really been a game changer for me. But this right here would be is an exact example on the 2 minute time frame. This is like an A plus setup for me. If you see when market opens, you know how we get our really quick our volatility. But then if you see it starting to wick up, especially above the 200 and the 20, and it wicks above your LRCs, get in right here. Go ahead and get in and trade this as a breakout move. If it starts to come back down, just get out. If you take a little loss, so be it. 9 times out of 10, this is what I get. It's been incredible. I typically don't like to trade first candles, or I haven't in the past. But with this setup, if I see this and I don't know if you downloaded the grids because I had those. I have those on the use ThinkScript, and I also have them on my Discord. You're welcome to come and get all my indicators. The I have a grid set up, and I'll watch the grids, and what I focus on is this exact thing happening. And if I see a close 20 and 200, and then I see a stock come down and wick up off of my LRC like it did right here, I get in, and I'll get out right away if it fails. But if it doesn't fail and it comes up to this LRC, I'll scale out. Usually I'm already up to $300 on this move. I'll scale out, I'll hold it, and then if I get this and it comes back up, I add. I will add on this candle right here. I would, if I get this again and it pushes up off of this LRC, I will add even more to my position, and then I get this. And so each week, each day, every single day, I've been profitable. It's been pretty amazing. This right here is another. You could enter here. I don't mind trading into the 20 as much as the 200. I do not like trading into the 200 though. Some of the guys in our Discord, they will trade into the 200, and sometimes it works out. I would say most of the time it doesn't. They end up taking a loss, or maybe getting a little profit and getting out before it turns around too much. But I like to be either above the 200 on and these are EMAs. You can use SMAs as well. They're so close in proximity, it doesn't really matter. But if you get something like this happen, and you see it comes down, it's weak, wicks back up off this LRC, you can always get in right here. Well, guess what? This is a perfect position, right? What's your risk to reward? Your reward is up here, possibly making a new high a day. It didn't on this move, but that's what I always look for once you get a pullback like this. But your exit is right below the LRC. So your risk is super small. Your reward is high. And that's one thing I think that makes this strategy so amazing is my risk to reward is great. So even when I lose, it's not that bad. Sometimes I do lose some pretty big amount. Like the other day I lost 600 or 700, but the next trade I got in, I took away the 600 or 700 and went up $1,100. So it was like a $1,700 trade overall. I wiped out the 600 and ended up with 1,100 in the positive. And that's not bragging or anything. That's just the system. That's just the strategy. It's been amazing for me. Now, the only thing that the downside to the strategy is if you like to continue trading during the day, is once you've blown out past it, you kind of want to wait for a retest of it, or at that point, then you try to use your support and resistance levels that you put in. Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. Well, I will leave it at that. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you. You can come in and trade, or just come into our free area. It doesn't matter. And if you have any questions, just shoot me leave them in the comments, or you can actually come into our Discord and ask in there, and I'll help you out. Oh yeah, yeah. Here, I'll show you guys exactly how I trade my options. This is how I trade. I have my flex grid, and I have that available for you guys as well, in the Discord and on Use ThinkScript. I think I put everything on there. Um, so this is exactly what I have, and this is how I trade. Um, so during the day, or when I'm watching my grids in the morning, I will go in and I'll load up my, I have a watch list that I have as calls, and I have a watch list that I have as puts. And I will just go into my, I'm sorry, my options chain. I'll right click on the, at the money. I'll paste it in the calls. I'll right click on the put and I'll paste it in the puts. I typically get both because I don't ever really, I don't try to predict what it's going to do. I just watch and let price action, show me what's happening. Of course, we get that wrong, um, you know, all the time. But then I'll go to, let's say, I see Meta and I like what Meta is doing. I'll go to Meta, I'll copy, paste. Oops, paste. Um, and then when it's time to trade, I have this call and this watch list, or the calls and the puts on red, and I have my um, active trader on red. And so what I'll do, like if I get, say I see Meta setting up to trade, as the market opens and I'm watching it, say it pulls back to an LRC level and I'm ready to get in, I'll call out to the group, hey, I see Meta setting up, I'm going to get ready. All I do is click, it puts it over here. I'll then, this actually supposed to look like that. I'll then, say on this one, I would probably trade 2 to 4, and then I'll just, as soon as I'm ready, I'll buy and sell. I typically don't use the bid and ask. I do use it a lot of times, more on like when I'm trading SPX though. Not as much for these, but when I'm trading SPX, I use SPY to trade SPX, and I literally will be zoomed in. I'll watch what's happening, and for SPX, say for instance, if I entered right here, which is what I did last week, I ended up making, oh, actually, it was I think right here. I made quite a bit off of this trade last week. But anyway, the when I enter, as I'm going, if I get to a point where I'm up like $300 or $400, or maybe say even $1,000, sometimes I get some really good moves. I will then go and I'll just hover over sell the bid, and that'll give me the area at which I know I need to be below. So I'll then pick right below that on my active trader. Oh, this is only on SPX, and then if I get continuation, I just keep dragging up and I'll keep dragging up. I'll go, like if I go up and it's say it goes from 300 to 400, I'll drag up to 400. Goes from 400 to 500, I'll drag up to 500. And I just keep going up to lock in profit. And I only do that with SPX because SPX will just take you out. Like one candle, you can be up $400 or $500. One little candle can come down a little bit and you'll be back to zero or a negative. So I do, I have a very short leash for SPX. But I hope you guys had a really great weekend, a great 4th of July. Hopefully you guys had some time off. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and I hope I see you guys in the Discord. And again, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments, and also, come into Discord. You can ask in there. So you guys take care. I appreciate you watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, share. You guys take care.